Son, not a bastard, right? You gonna get chastised. It's a spiritual ride. Just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gonna ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and
Okay. All right, we're back. Give us a little technical difficulties here. Nothing on your side, on your end. It was us. We're back, and I think we've lost everybody that checked in with us today. And what time is it? 12:45. So it looks like we got to wrap this thing up without any. Well, let me see. Let's see. Let's go there anyway. Uh, I don't I don't see nothing. Let's see here. No, it's not showing me anything. No, well, I got a little cartoon here talking to me. Well, see, the chat is waiting for new messages. See, ain't nothing on it. All right, then. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to close it out anyway. Sorry about that. You got some? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh, you got okay. Good. Let's see here. Uh, can you do something about this here? I think something happened here. This thing just showed up out of clear blue sky. That thing there. Okay. Okay, hold tight. Oops. Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we dismiss? Hold on. Here's got you first. Right. Does it get into them? That's not saying we can't be tempted. Because if Yahweh wanted him in you, I don't care if you're under the blood. You gonna get tempted. Right. Yahweh got his own reasons, man. Right? Maybe got to get something done some kind of way. Maybe he just wants you to see you in the lake of fire, even though you're under the blood. So what does that mean? It means you're saved by grace, right? So whether you're righteous or not, if you're saved, it's by the grace of Yahweh. First what? Chapter 2, chapter 6, 3. I don't know, can't hear. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 of what? 16 and 17. What's that talking about? Let me get there. You say 15 and 16? 16 and 17? See, know you not that you are the temple of Elohim, and that the spirit of Elohim doth in you. If any man defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy. For the temple of Elohim is holy, which temple you are. What's your question? What definition did you get? Well, yeah, thing come out of a man's mouth of defile a man, right? So how does that link up with what we just read here in verse 17? Uh, no. Let me see here. Well, how did our fathers defile the temple? What does it say in Ezekiel chapter 8? They worship other gods. Right. In the temple. Yeah. The defiling what? Well, if you're a witch, you ain't got no temple. Yeah. Now, if you come under the blood, you should know better. But if you be defiled, it's because Yahweh will that you be defiled. Because look at Judas Iscariot, he's one of the 12. If anybody, all 12 should have been saved, but Yahweh did not want it to go down that way. Prophecy had to be fulfilled. And he was chosen to betray the Mashiach. Right? He was just fulfilling prophecy. So Yahweh chooses people to fulfill prophecy. Right? So if you defile that temple by worshiping another God, yeah, you worship another God. That's why I was giving Ezekiel 8 as an example. To defile your God, to worship other gods. Yeah, well, you fornicate, you defile the temple. Right? So we have Yahweh's people fornicating with other gods in the temple. Okay? So it's all about breaking the law. If you break the law in the temple, then you defiling that temple. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, the fornicating. Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at Yahweh's moral laws, right? In Leviticus 18. Well, if you do those things that Yahweh says on abomination to him inside with your body, well, now you're defiling the temple, right? So it covers homosexuality, having sex with your kinsman, and all those things, and your father's skirt, uncover your father's skirt. Well, you're breaking Yahweh's moral laws. So that's what we're talking about here in verse 17. You're defiling his moral laws. Your body's the temple, but yet still look what you're using your body to do. Okay, did I get that? Okay. The barber at the barber shop. Yeah, I remember. I used to help that brother, man, when he was in the prison, and he needed money, needed something, and I would send it to him. And he got out, then he got up here and killed that dude. Yeah, so yeah, when you murder somebody, yeah, he was baptized, right? That's what you call defiling the temple. So basically, it's breaking Yahweh's law. No, you got to remember at the time that the law was given, a man can have concubines, can have more than one wife. So we didn't have a definition of fornication back in those days at the time that the law was given. Now we got the Mashiach's law. Now you can throw fornication up in that law, right? So it'll be equal with adultery. Okay.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 10.
Revelation, in verse 10, it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And what's your question about that?
You know, this is at the end of the Great Tribulation,
This would be that 3.5 years of Great Tribulation. Yeah.
So if I'm thinking like if communication is cut off and there's no communication, all that stuff going on, how does the earth know that these prophets are dead? Because you know there's no communication, there's no communication. How does the earth know? People of the earth, I know the people in the city should know. How do people of the earth know that these prophets are dead now because there's no communication? How does that work?
Well, we're looking at the one world order, right? So everybody that's going to prosper in that one world order got to have the name, number, and mark of the beast. So they have to have some type of technology to look at what you got to make you part of that one world order. So whatever technology that is, you can look at it as applying to this too. That somehow, and then communication with those people that take that name, number, and mark. So if they see that these are the people that tormented everybody, they let them know. These are the people that are causing all these troubles.
So communication not be totally cut off.
Not that particular type of communication, because again, you got to have some type of technology to take that name, number, and mark. Did somebody else have? Did I get that for you? Did somebody else have a question? All right. Well, not until you get to verse 7. Well, when he says it in the quiver, he's talking about he's hidden, right? Well, the people didn't know who they were dealing with when they were dealing with the Mashiach because of that spirit that was in him. They're looking at a flesh and blood man talking about things that they did not understand, right? That was Israel in him. Yes, when it got his baptism and that spirit came and dwelt upon him like a dove, what the voice from heaven say? Behold, this is my son whom I'm well pleased. This is my son. Again, he wasn't talking about that flesh and blood man. That son was Israel, his firstborn. And he allowed that firstborn son to enter in his only begotten son. Okay, so all during this ministry, he was doing some miracles, right? Because of who he was. That's Israel. Remember in John chapter 1, they said the word of Elohim, right, became flesh, right? So that word that was in the beginning was word was Elohim, word with Elohim, right? So that word came and dwelt in a flesh and blood man, was named after that word, Israel. So that's a great honor to be named after the word of God. So there's a purpose for us being named that. So you're not being called Yahwehs. Right now. But look who Yahshua glorified. The Father. Right. The Father glorified. So Yahweh always looking for that glory. So you couldn't say, even though he was doing all those miracles, he always said the Father allowed me to do it. Everything I see my Father do, I do. Right. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to add that comment right there. Yahshua himself told his disciples, the works that you see me do, I do not of myself.
Right. Right. But they still did not know who it was they were talking to.
Right.
Because he told them at one time, told the Jews, I'm from above and you're from beneath. Wait, ain't it Joseph's son? Right? How does he say he's from above? That wasn't that flesh and blood man talking. That was that spirit in that man. So people, they get confused at who's talking, the man or that spirit. The people at the time were looking at a man, right? They couldn't see that spirit in it. That's why you got in Isaiah 49, he's hidden me in a quiver. In the quiver have he hidden me. So that was that spirit in the shack was the quiver, and that spirit was inside of him. But you have never seen him. No one has ever seen him, right? Until you get down to verse 7, then you see, then they realize that they were two at the same time in Isaiah 49, verse 1 to verse 7. That it? Okay.
Matthew 13, the tares,
Mm-hmm.
those same tares, it refers back to the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So within the children of Israel, you still have a group that's growing up as children, but eventually Yahweh allowed them to become tares.
Right. They were tares all along. a tear and a wheat look alike.
So they're still the children of Israel.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They're keeping the laws and the
Yeah.
okay. So from birth, you're saying Yahweh already seen them as people, even though they're still people.
Let me read you something here. In Matthew 13. Uh, verse 36. It said, Then Yeshua sent the multitude to the way and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil, and the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather them out of his kingdom, all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So what he's saying is the angel will get all the wicked people out of the kingdom, because there are going to be some wicked people there. Those will be the tares. Now they're not going to manifest themselves toward the end of that age. During the 1,000 years, they're going to act right, but after a while, their natural mind's going to take over, and so they're going to be causing problems in the kingdom. No, Satan will still be in the bottom of the pit. These people be doing this on their own. And that's why they're going to be thrown in the lake of fire. Okay?
Evil is separated.
Evil? What do you mean it's separate from Satan?
Bit of the fruit, that's when they knew good and
Yeah,
so that is
that's what.
that is a separate. So evil can be Satan, but it also can be other things.
Now, when you say evil, what are you referring to? Some of Satan or something of man? Well, how do you define evil? Huh? So how does he define evil? You got his words right here. Let me see. I was trying to find something that maybe can help you out. Um, let me see here. Um, well, you got something?
I got two questions.
Go ahead.
So the tears, they not born, they're not be born, they're gonna be already, they gonna walk into the kingdom of God. Not that
Yeah.
they're gonna be born.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And also, the tears, they just among our people, they're gonna be part of the nations too that walk into the kingdom.
Just us. Yeah.
So the nations not gonna have the tears.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking tell us about us, who we are as a people. Right. Yahweh really doesn't care that much about the nations as far as being saved is concerned, because yeah, you're gonna be saved, but I gotta save my people first. Right? And you gotta be taught what my people know. Well, so Yahweh doesn't expect them to do it perfectly because they're heathen.
So the children, when they have children, are the children gonna be children, or the children gonna be righteous?
I don't know. I don't know. It might be a mingling of the seed. Might have a seed, a tare, and a wheat mingled together. Right? So we don't know what the future is for that, whatever comes forth of that. But only the tare is going to be taken out of the kingdom because of their actions during that time. They're going to be the ones causing trouble in the kingdom. So the angel's going to rip them up out of there, and they're going to be taken out and thrown into the lake of fire.
So every time the universe is kind of still watching other people, make sure our children don't, that our people get to their children, so grandchild, the great-grandchild, that's the victim of the tear. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta still be vigilant about who you allow children to just mingle with, so they don't have children that are tears.
Well, let me read you something here. This is in Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26 and verse 10. Look at what it says. Now, this talks about the tares. Doesn't call them tares, but look how he describes them. This is Isaiah 26 and verse 10. It said, "Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh." Those will be called tares. That was Isaiah 26 and verse 10. You ain't got to answer for your own sins. Yeah, well, they're gonna know the law by then, right? So they'll know. I mean, the law just amplifies the conscience, right? Because you got a conscience of what right and wrong, but the law is codified. The law is written down so it can be part of that conscience. So you have a justified reason for doing the thing that you do and not doing the thing that you shouldn't do. So now we got it written down. We knew something wrong with stealing. Subconscious, without even nobody telling us that's wrong. And we know it's wrong to kill somebody. So without anybody telling them written down, thou shalt not murder. They know that consciously. They know consciously that they ain't supposed to lie, but they lie anyway. Again, that's that light in chapter 1 of Genesis. It said, "Let there be light." That's that light, that conscious to let you know what consciously is right or wrong.
How do they last the whole 1,000 years? How do they last 1,000 years without it being material being boom? You know what I'm saying? How does one tear come walk into the kingdom it survived those 1,000 years. Without creating another terror. You know, because it's like I just survived so long under their license for 1,000 years of terror.
You're a terror. You can't help yourself. Right? So if it's meant for a terror to be a terror, going to be a terror the rest of his life. If you're weak, you're going to be weak the rest of your life. So with a terror, they're the ones that are going to be causing trouble.
Those are the ones that die off the kingdom, right?
Well, depending on it causing to thoughts of judgment.
Right.
So if you do something that causes judgment to come upon you that results in death, well, that was you in the first place, right? If you murder someone during that time, you will not be hit because you're going to have those angels down here. You ain't going to be able to see them sometime. But nevertheless, you're going to know that you're a murderer, and with the judgment of murder is what? Death. Right? That you have to be taught that, though. Because even though some people are conscious, they think taking revenge out on the enemy is justified. Right? But how do you know that's your enemy? Maybe he looks like your enemy. So if that wasn't your enemy, you killed him, you murdered him. So now you got to be judged. Are there any more questions? Yeah, man. Yeah. Right. Or the angel himself. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Not everybody, because we're gonna have a court system set up. And remember what the Mashiach said when you resurrect in regeneration, that you're gonna sit on 12 thrones, judging 12 tribes of Israel. So we're gonna have the same justice system set up in the kingdom, where we had judges and we had elders, we had chiefs, and when any issue come up that's too hard for them, they take it to who? The priest, right? The priest is the supreme court. So the 12 disciples, they're going to be the supreme court in the kingdom, right? So no, no. They got to be judged, but they got to have a system. Now we got a system already written down, right? So that same system will be set up in the kingdom too. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's optional, I imagine, because I can't tell you what the jobs are, but it's a whole lot of more than we are, right? So we got one that's been assigned to you from the time you took your first breath, right? He's been with you all your life. You never saw him, but he kept you from danger seen and unseen, right? So, but you do have someone recording everything you say and everything you do. So are they the same angel? I can't tell you. So if it's two angels there, what difference does it make? Right? Your history is already written down, what you said, what you did. Yeah, man. Right.
So right now, everything that we say, just angels, everybody got to go through the Hamites and Gentiles say too, or they just
Those Gentiles that are been sealed. We got people that are sealed, right? So nothing's going to happen to them. They got the Father's name sealed in the forehead from the very first day they were born to the time that the Mashiach sets out the kingdom. They've been shielded from any danger seen and unseen. Not necessarily angels, but nothing can touch you. Nothing can harm you as long as you got the Father's seal in your forehead. Right.
You're talking about ordination, right?
Yeah. So what's the need for an angel to be assigned to you when you already got the seal in your forehead? That's your angel. That's your guard right there. That's your pass. They can't touch you or harm you anyway. That goes for the 144,000. Nothing can happen to these people. And they can't be killed. They can't be in prison. They can't do nothing. Nothing can stop them from being 144,000. Okay, that it,
So that's what it meant when it says no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
right? Talking about his people. No matter what they do, they can't prosper. And one of the things that we have to consider now, we've been in our enemy's land for over 400 years,
Yes,
right? And every day they try to kill us,
right.
and they do kill some of us,
Yes,
right? But we have an ace in the hole.
right.
We have the resurrection, right? So they kill us, if they kill one of us, we under the blood. Well, they really had to stop our life.
Right.
We're gonna come right back with a brand new body, more than what you damaged by busting a cap in my forehead. Uh, I don't mean to be so gross, but this is our experience here in America, being lynched, being murdered, and all those things. Now, the question is, what about those people that didn't know the law? What about back in the slave days? They couldn't read or write. What about those people? They're still going to be judged. Now, you got the judgment. Now, the way you can look at that is that they did not know Yahweh. All they knew was the Christian God, right? So the first 4 commandments, Yahweh may show grace towards them. But the last 6, that's between you and man, right? Now, so love your neighbor, not honor thy father and thy mother, right? Thou shalt not commit adultery. Well, that's between 2 people, right? Thou shalt not kill. That's another between 2 people, your neighbor. Thou shalt not steal, and so forth. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not covet. Well, that's between man and man. That's what they're going to be judged on. Okay, so if they murdered somebody, that Yahweh did not. I mean, you look at, he knew he murdered somebody, so he's going to be judged for that. It might be thrown in the lake of fire, but if you live, see your pumpkin head keep getting in my eye, line of eye, man. Every time I talk to Steve, put a head right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Then he do over here. Okay. Now again, they're gonna be judged by the last 6 commandments, right? 'Cause again, that's between man and man, right? But as far as Yahweh is concerned, they didn't know Yahweh. Yahweh had it set up that way. They couldn't know Yahweh because then they would know that stay here in America. If they knew that they stay here in America was temporary, they may leave too soon. So the prophecy had to come to pass that we have to be here 400 years. 400 years is up. Now you're packing up. Right. Yes.
Okay, what about slaves, right? The people that didn't really have Christian slave masters. They couldn't do it right. They didn't have that law of knowing that God said that kid, that's what that was big. And the slave masters constantly breeding them and doing this and this. They didn't have that understanding of not being adultery because
So what you said?
not really serious because they got to say, I like to tell you not to you may be go with this woman and then go with this woman and they didn't have them. So now how is that different for them? They didn't have Christian, they had they slave masters.
Right.
I mean, so they didn't have no understanding of anything.
Yeah.
Righteous.
Well, we had a law for that. Let's go to Leviticus 19. In Leviticus 19, in verse 20. Now this our law, all right? It says in Leviticus 19, verse 20, and whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to a husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free. She wasn't married, right? So she wasn't free. She was a slave, right? And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Yahweh, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before Yahweh for his sin which he have done, and the sin which he have done shall be forgiven him. He forced her into having sex, but it was his property. She was his property. He could do with her what he wanted, but she was engaged to another man. right? So when you look at the surface of it, it sounds like he committed adultery, but she was property. You cannot commit adultery with property, right? So same situation can be here in America. These white slave masters were having sex with their property. We were not considered even human. So you can't judge. You can't put that woman in judgment just because you can't put this woman in judgment. Right? You said she was going to be scourged, but she didn't have any choice. So that scourge could take any form, though. It ain't necessarily got to be beat, but it could take any other kind of form of scourging you can imagine. Because again, she was not free, so she had no choice. Same thing here. Right? Yeah, yeah. The women here in America, those slave women, they didn't have any choice. They were property. So by the law itself, they can't complain because they were property. So we can't complain either. Because now we see what the law says. That as long as you got a slave, that is your property. And you make money off your property.
Either one could be charged with it.
Huh?
They could not be charged as said, or
Well, that with ripping your slave?
yeah.
Well, we just read what it says here. But as far as a slave is concerned, now this hint she was engaged, right? But most women that are slaves are not engaged when they're raped, right? But you are still property. They can do with you what they want to. We had slaves, right? We got a law that said, yeah, you can have slaves. And slavery's coming back. But we're not going to treat slaves like we would treat in America. That the way we would treat in America caused us to rebel against our masters. So they have rebellions all the time because of mistreatment. So we're not going to treat them like they treated us. Now, granted, when you get in the kingdom and you're able to get you a slave, I've heard some sisters say, we don't want no white slave. They don't want no white slave. They'll take anybody else, but not a white slave.
That's a mindset.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we learned here, and that because in the kingdom you cannot abuse your slave. In the kingdom, you don't want to give the slaves a reason to rebel against you, right? So you're gonna treat them with respect, and people are gonna want to be your slave after that.
It's all about mindset.
Yeah,
Like I say now, I'm 72 years old. I don't want to be married and nothing like that, but I don't know what to happen. My attitude will change.
yeah. When you get in the kingdom,
Yeah.
attitude will change. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I'll give it a shot and see what this marriage thing all about. Let me see what it feels like to have
You
children.
know what you just said?
What?
You know, y'all heard what he said.
What I say?
Huh? Yeah, I know it, but the way you say it, you have to watch him. He'll do it on the slide and try to act innocent. You have to watch it.
I am gonna
He's gonna take a chance. Oh, I know what he said. I'm just messing
I
with
know not what you're talking about. Yeah.
you. Yeah, the word. That was the word.
No, well, see, you look at Elder Yaakov, right? You see, why get married and you get $25 and go get your shot?
Yeah, he said it all the time.
See, save all that trouble, that stress. Just go out there with the $25.
And he said,
Now that's who taught me, all right? Yeah, but you know Elder Yaakov.
he'll just tell you.
Yeah, but well, you know what? It really there is no law for paying for sex.
I'm saying you fornicating though.
No, it's a business transaction. Because if it's fornication, that's no money being exchanged. Right. If you just fornicate, nobody gets paid. But if you're a prostitute, that's a business transaction. Not if you're paying for it. Now, if y'all gave me just in case you go out. Now, look. Let's study that for a second. First Timothy chapter 1.
No, First Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 6.
That's good. I never thought about that.
Well, let's look at that. I mean, we're going to look at it again because it does sound like fornication, and that's the first thing that came to my mind when Elder Yaakov said, "Well, let's go out there and buy a shot."
But you know what he say, right? He said, "This is Yaakov talking, not the Spirit."
Yeah.
You know how he used to go with that.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse what? Huh? Meats for the belly and belly for the meats, but Elohim shall destroy both of it and them. Now the body is not for fornication, but for the Adonai, and the Adonai for the body. And Elohim have raised up the Adonai and will also raise up us by his own power. Know you not that your bodies are the members of the Mashiach? Shall I then take the member of the Mashiach and make them the members of a harlot? Elohim forbid. What? Know you not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto Adonai is one spirit. Flee fornication, even sin that is every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committed fornication sinneth against his own body. So you equating buying you some with fornication.
Yeah, but it's in the heart.
A harlot.
A harlot is a
Well, in that particular use of the word harlot, he's talking about married to a harlot. Right? He said, it says, know you not that your bodies are the members of the Mashiach? Shall I then take the members of the Mashiach and make them the members of a harlot? Elohim forbid. What? Know you not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? He's still talking about marriage. For two, saith he, shall be one flesh. He's still talking about marriage when you're talking about a harlot. You married a harlot. Right? So that's a different relationship than having fornication with a stranger. How could you fornicate with somebody? You don't. Well, because the prophet married a harlot. Well, listen, he's married to a harlot. Right? She's used to fornication. So you're married to a harlot, and so now you're fornicating with somebody you married with, because she used to fornication. You understand?
You married a whore.
Oh, hold on, Elder. Wait.
Okay.
So you understand what he's saying here? Now, I'm not advocating that you do that, right? But let's make the definition sure of what's actually being said here. Now, Paul is telling you not to be married to a harlot. All right, because the two shall be one flesh, right? Again, that's marriage. So you look at Hosea. Yahweh told him to go marry a harlot, right? And then, she left him and went to other people, and he went and grabbed her back, and he paid a dowry after he got her. So they were married. So are you saying that he's committing fornication just because he married a harlot?
No, I'm saying that if you married to him, why did they compare this to fornication? The First Corinthians, if he's married to her, how can he be fornicating?
Because your wife is a fornicator, right? That means she's not loyal to you, right? So you're married to a harlot. All she knows how to be is a harlot. She can't help herself. And you married to her, and now both of y'all are married, right? But you still married a harlot. That's the point that's being made. Yeah.
You didn't do anything wrong. That's something.
No, he married to her.
Yeah, he chose that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you've never been married. Now with that,
A whoremonger is a male prostitute. That was a translator's word, right? But a whoremonger, when you look it up, it's a male prostitute.
I thought that was a dog.
A dog? Well, yeah, when you look at the law in Deuteronomy, it says you should not accept anything from a harlot or from a dog. Well, that's how sodomites operate. in a dog style. Right. They had priests and priestesses in those temples that actually were whores and sodomites. Right. That's how they worship their God. What are you gonna say here? Uh, well, that was the law, but that wasn't reality for our people. Because sometimes the women can't find a husband, so they got to make some kind of money to survive. Right? Remember in King Slomo, and two harlots came up to him arguing about their baby. Right? Those are whores talking to the king. Help us decide who gets this baby. So he helped them decide it. But the fact that they're whores, the fact that they're harlots, it shows that that law said that shall not be in the whores of the daughters of Israel. That didn't always work out for them sisters. Because by nature, there are more women in the world than men. That's why Jacob could have all those wives and concubines, right? And look at Abraham; he had a bunch of concubines. So always been more women in the world than men. So what the women gonna do? They gotta either submit themselves to a man, hope that man come and buy, get their dad a dowry, or come and buy them from somewhere. Those women were for sale, right? Whoever had the highest bid, they would get them.
Because Judah did that as well. With his daughter-in-law, I guess.
What now?
I say Judah did that with
Oh, you talking about Tamar?
yeah.
Well, she tricked him,
Set it up, yes.
but then he lied because he was supposed to give her the Shayla,
Exactly.
right? He never did, so she said, "I got to do something about this," and she did it, and he couldn't fault her either. Now he wanted to burn her alive, didn't he? But then he found out, hey, they're my children, right? So he had to back off of that, but he never touched her again, though. Like, I'm surprised though. That's his daughter-in-law. You didn't know her. You could recognize her voice. That's your daughter-in-law. You heard her talk before. And you still went to bed with this woman? Yeah, but y'all got it worked out that way.
And also, on the spiritual side, it's like God was comparing what Hosea to Israel. He would be to fornicate with this enemy, all these other.
Yeah, you find that in Jeremiah chapter 3, right? That our father will fornicate with other people's gods, right? So Yahweh sent his prophets to them over and over again to repent and come back to him, right? But they wouldn't repent, so that's why we're here now, right? Yes, Steve.
You know, I'm just saying, you got that going on today, like you were saying about women. Couldn't find a lot. You got a lot of women with these kids. Up at some of these extended stay hotels, they turn them trips like that.
Yeah.
Meeting guys.
That's the only way they can make it.
I need help.
Yeah.
You see some of them in cars with the family old beat up cars. They need help.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so ain't no love here.
I know.
This is gonna be a
It's about survival.
Yeah, and some of them, even in these apartments, you can come over. I need you to come over, do what you got to do, and pay this bill.
Yeah.
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 So,
But it's still fornication, though.
yeah, I know it. Yeah, but I'm saying it's the same thing. That's
Yeah. But again, you can go out, pay some money to get what you want, or you can be married to them.
Mhm.
But that just because you're married to them does not make them stop being a harlot.
Mhm.
And that's what Paul was saying, right? Because he was warning them, if you married to a harlot, then both of you are one flesh now.
So this would be like being married to an adult entertainer, something like that.
Married to what?
An adult entertainer. I don't want to say.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, because look, after that first time, she should have been married because she'd been imprinted by her husband, right? But after the second time, there's a different man. Now she got several spirits in her. Like at one time when she was a virgin, she had one spirit that was her husband. But when she had 5 or 6 more, they call it what's the scoreboard,
Right.
right? So you got about 15 to 20 men, like you see on Marvin Povich.
Right.
They can't figure out who baby daddy is. Well, now you're a harlot, right? Because you had all these men, and so they cannot be faithful because they will always remember the last time they had it good. So that's another reason Paul is using the terminology that he's using as for married to a harlot, because she's a whore, and whores do what whores do.
Got all that DNA in her.
All that DNA, all them different man spirits in her. That's why she's a harlot. She cannot be faithful. Okay. Excuse me. So what now?
I said it takes two to tango. So what that makes the lady?
What'd she say?
It takes two to tango. So what is the man? Is it in to get on the man's part? That's basically what she's saying.
Is she married to him, ain't he? And he married to her?
They become one.
Yeah. I mean, what's the problem?
That's why he appreciated marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. If Yahweh put y'all together, let no man put us asunder. Right. But you can't tell Jake that.
Right.
Yeah. You remember that year when Obama was in the president and his soldier came up to him? They came up to Michelle trying to hit on her. She's a married woman, and she's married to the most powerful man on earth, and you hitting on her. Who else does this? They're the same people. That's my point. Who does this? It's the same people. Yeah, so they don't care about you, man.
Probably they know he danced with another man.
Yeah, that can't happen, man. You be out there, the transgender, the trans female, whatever you call them, cross dressers. They be out there at the clubs, and you don't know that's a man. Yeah, and you can tell. You can't see.
Why you got to do it?
Huh?
Why you got to do it?
Hey, I mean, Elder did it.
I know. Yeah, Elder.
I'm an elder too, nigga.
I know.
Oh, excuse me. Facebook. see how Jake take you to the hoop? I got some folk on this thing here, man. Yeah, we've been here long enough. Okay, now that got 1248 on this. All right. I got, let's see here. Okay. Shalom, brother Eliyahu. Oh, this got Facebook and YouTube on. Okay. So, yeah, this is at the beginning of the broadcast. Shalom, Avisha Judah. Shalom, brother Abraham. Shalom, Elder Tobiah. Shalom, Elder Alahayim. Y'all see Alahayim last night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let's see here. Shalom, brother Alahayim. Ben Yasharala. Shalom, Lion Pride 11241968. Shalom, Gregor Rucker. Shalom, Esha Yasharala. Shalom, Isha 777. Shalom, brother Deacon Hanok. Shalom, brother Yohanan. Shalom, brother Yaakov. Shalom, Shalom, Susie Garman. Shalom, Mickey Anderson. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. I'm not even saying Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Shabbat Shalom, Lonely Red Wolf. Shabbat Shalom, brother Alahayim, Sister Malaka. Shabbat Shalom, Kimberly Israel. Shabbat Shalom, Nisha B. Kimbrough. Well, sounds familiar. Shabbat Shalom to you, dear. Shalom, Seeking Ben Israel. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Elder Mikael. Shabbat Shalom, Brother Hanok says, Shabbat Shalom, praise Yah for you, my elder, for answering our questions. I don't want to lean on my own understanding. But can you elaborate on Genesis 1 and 27? And does Psalm 82, verse 6 have anything to do with this verse? Okay. Genesis 1 and 27. Genesis 1 and 27. That's what that's when Elohim said, let us make man after our own image and after our own likeness. And he made him, let me see here. It says, so Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. In Psalm 82 and verse 6. Let's see. I have said you are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. So is there a connection with that? No, because he said it to particular people. He's talking about the only people that he's ever known, the people that he made covenants with. Therefore, if you got a relationship with your God, if your God is your husband, and if your God is your father, and if your God is your master, then you have an intimate relationship with them. So he's talking about you are gods because of your relationship with Yahweh. Right? No one else has this kind of relationship with the creator of heaven and earth. So that it's not the same in the beginning when these men and women were created. It wasn't the same. They had that covenant of understanding between Yahweh and a particular people. And that's why it says, I said you are gods. But why would he say that? Because of their relationship with Yahweh. Right? So that's what that's referring to. So you got two different things going on with that one. Let's see. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, morning Chris. Shabbat Shalom, brother Adawan. Shabbat Shalom, Daryl Simmons. Shabbat Shalom, brother Hodiah. Shabbat Shalom, brother Eliyahu. Shabbat Shalom, Elder Azariah. Shabbat Shalom, Melinda Curry. Shabbat Shalom, Eric Johnson. Shabbat Shalom, brother Adrian Davis. Shabbat Shalom, Crypto Caveman. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Malaka. Shabbat Shalom, brother Malachi. Shabbat Shalom, Kevin Burtz. Shabbat Shalom, Clarence Moss and Sister Yolita. Shalom, Malachi Israel. He got Chat GBT. Does it mean something to me? Oh, AI? Okay. Yeah. See, again, I'm from the rotary dial generation. I have no clue of how this thing works. Oh, they respond? How do they know what to say? Right. They have to be programmed to say what they say. Right.
They put 1,000 situations, millions of situations.
Yeah.
It's not that they're programmed to say this. They've taken all of the information that was put in AI, and they give you an answer right now.
Well, they had that system set up a long time ago. When you look at the global map, when you're trying to find somewhere, you put the address in. They took dozens of different routes for you to go to your location. So it's already embedded in the system. So they give you the best route to go to take you around for traffic and any other thing that might obstruct your way there. So they got the same system. They got all this information in there that they can extrapolate and say, this is the answer to your question, right? But suppose what you input is not everything, right? So they input, what would they say is, where do black people come from? Do they have anything in that AI or that chat GPT that tells you where do black people come from? They got that? So where do black people come from? You ain't asked them? They say what? Oh, they do? No. Now where they come from? Because man has to put that information in there. So I'm looking at the system itself going out and getting more information.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Ah,
AI works. They got this information. So they was like,
Yeah, they was right. Sit down. I mean, I want to see mine, so you make that blue, red, look at the stuff, this way, the stuff that you're seeing, reading, input, so they use the computers to do. Yeah, this is the best of the world.
so what it is taking you out your comfort zone that you thought you knew what the deal was. Then you see something else you hadn't even considered. That makes sense. I can see why it drive you crazy. Because you used to doing thinking a certain way all your life, and all of a sudden that you see that was wrong. You gone, man? You got a hand up?
It's also exclusive that might watch live about
What did he say? Oh yeah, he said it speaks about that. Talks about the white lies about the Bible, the whitewashing of the Bible. They talked about that. That's kind of been out there for a minute, right?
Even report on the genocide.
Yeah, we all know about that too. It's in the history books.
It's just being exposed now.
Yeah, one form of communication to another form of communication. That's it. Could either be in books or on the computer. What now?
If you open up AI and you ask the question, it's going to tell you. So the white lies are over with.
The white lies are over with. Well, that's fine, but okay, I go with it. Like I say, I'm from the rotary dial generation, so y'all made that thing up yourself. I had nothing to do. I'd rather have a rotary phone again. Shalom, brother Malachi. Okay, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Lion Pride 11241919. Oh, that's his birthday. I said, wait, that looked familiar. That was actually Chat GPT that answered those questions about who the true Israelite chosen people of Yahweh were, Elder. Does that say that? They're telling us that we the chosen people. They say that we're the chosen people.
100%.
Only black people.
You tell a whole story, like you want to get a story for like Moses.
That's gonna mess folk up, man. I see why people going crazy about that. Because for centuries they've always thought the people in the Bible were white. Then they found out they black, and they look back at how they treated these people. Yeah, they better start packing the bags now. I heard. Yeah. Hey, it's their own fault. We didn't tell them to paint everybody white in there. We didn't tell them to get Charlton Heston to play Moshe. And Yul Brynner to play Pharaoh. So they brought that upon themselves because they refused to keep that second commandment, not to make unto them graven images. Yeah, I can imagine them saying that. Whether we the chosen people or not, they still hate us. Yeah. Oh, it's got that in there too? All right, well, that saves us a lot of trouble. Maybe Jake will listen to AI now. Who wants to know says Shabbat Shalom, who wants to know? I am confused about everything that you have discussed today. Why would a God choose such a rebellious people? Good question. To show off his glory in them, right? Because either way, he had made covenants with their father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So it's not like he chose them after a second thought. They were the children of these three men. And Yahweh loved those three men, so he had to choose the children of those three men. So that's why Yahweh chose us. We look back at it now, yeah, why would Yahweh choose such a rebellious people? Well, that's between him and his wife. You got no business worried about somebody else's marriage, right? Because in the end, he gonna win anyway. So yeah, that I know it seems like the whole book's about our father's rebellion, but then they still his chosen people. So he didn't choose anybody else. Yeah, he wanted himself. What kind of people are these? Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Sister Naraya. I said, but who wants to know? I want to watch the rest of your class today, but YouTube shut it down. Yeah. Shalom, Kimberly Israel. Shabbat Shalom, Kimberly Israel. Had not been in this. I don't want to. I just read that. We answered your questions. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Jeremiah 5863H. 5863H. What's that mean? Brother Mickey so elder, when Yahweh divided the land in Genesis 10 and 25, then in Genesis 11, 1 through 9, couldn't it be possible that we, the Hebrews, ended up in the Americas before Columbus also had even there a remnant that knew who we were and remembered how to get back to their homeland, as it was wrote by a pope saying it was okay to have Yahweh chosen as slaves. And maybe it was another group of our people or something else in that vast space. Shabbat Shalom. Well, yeah, you're coming up with a lot of maybes, but you have to follow what the prophecy said. That we would be spewed out of the land. But that doesn't mean that we came over here to America. We may have. So what? What you have to understand is the prophecy still had to be fulfilled. We still had to come over here on ships as bondmen and bondwomen. Now, if you came over here before that, then you might not have been Yahweh's people, because that's the only way we got here is on ships. Right? Yeah. Right. Well, that begs the question, then how did the people in South America get there? Because they're more kin to the Mongolians, right? That's over in Russia. Nice to travel through Russia, through the Bering Straits and Chukchi Sea, then down through Alaska and all the way down to Canada, and all the way down to America, Central America, and South America. They came from the east, and they migrated all the way over here over time. So that's the way migrations work, because you can see the physical similarities in the South Americans and the Mongolians. They look damn near alike. All of the short, Chinese-looking people, Asiatic-looking people. So yeah, they got the same texture, body structure as each other. Whereas us, we're not built like everybody else. As a matter of fact, white folks are more built like us than they are. So they're just following. Somehow, they're looking at us as somebody that's a powerful people. And they want to seem as powerful as us, while at the same time psychologically destroying us, saying that you have no power. Right? But you look at black people today and white people today, if it weren't for skin color, they'd be identical. But they all buffed up, right? They buffed up, right? But the difference is Yahweh people are superior to white people when it comes to athletics. They imitate what Yahweh people do. But the thing is, they don't understand where we come from. But that was a way of life. Being shaped like we were, we stayed in shape. Slavery kept us in shape. So we were always people in shape. And white folks admired that. But that made them afraid of us. So they always passed laws to keep us down because they were afraid of us. Okay. What now?
2,000 years ago, is that what white folks came around? 2,000 plus years, not 10,000 to 5,000, like we've been around.
So what about 2,000?
That's why I say this is the world. We put you right here. And everything we need is right here. And with you, eventually things will work out. I don't know. You know, you see where the world thing goes. That's from the jump of the log and came. We don't know that.
So what are you saying?
There's a possibility that we were over here before the Indians and anybody else.
We were here before the Indians.
Not just there, but
There was some more people besides us.
Yeah, there were more people.
Well, are you saying that we were here before the Indians?
Yes.
Do you have any proof of that?
No, you guys have any proof the other way around.
Well, we got proof. We got proof. White folk been here.
How long was it?
They got dates, Elder. Eric the Red, the Vikings. They recorded everything they did. What's the record of you being here before white people? Huh? Buildings? What did he say? Pyramids. Black pyramids here in America. Ain't no pyramids here in America. Ain't no pyramids here in America. Where y'all getting that from? Hey. Let's get back to this thing. I want to get up out of here, man. Brother Mickey, again, you got a bunch of maybes trying to put us before white folks got here. You can't prove that, my brother. If it was that the case, then it would have been written down in our book. But the only time we've been here is when them ships brought us here. Shabbat Shalom, brother Yahoo. Isha 777, Shabbat Shalom. Belinda Curry, Shabbat Shalom. Roosevelt Peacher, Shabbat Shalom. Shamayam Yasharala, Elder, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Elder Hiram. Shabbat Shalom, Johnson April. Shabbat Shalom, Brother Benaiah. Shabbat Shalom, Lion Pride, 11/24/1968. I missed the last 25 minutes when the first live stopped. Hallelujah. Okay. Shalom, Meshach Yafeh. I think that's Brother Meshach. Let me see. Is Benaiah still here?
He probably got in stop.
Yeah, I sent him a text.
He said he was going.
Because Meshach said he got a shofar. And he wanted to talk to Benaiah on how to blow it. Shalom, Julius Brown, Shabbat Shalom, Julius Brown, Shabbat Shalom, Shaul Ben Israel, Shabbat Shalom, Lion Pride, Shabbat Shalom, Timmy Turner, Shabbat Shalom, Malachi Israel. Chat is different. It talks back to you like a real person about anything. Shabbat Shalom, who wants to know? Shalom, Elder Priest, Elder yourself. I have a question. Do we be born on this earth and die, be born again over and over? Do our spirits come back in other bodies? What's that? Reincarnation? Yeah. You're talking about two different things that was written in the Bible. There's nothing about reincarnation in the Bible. The body you die with is going to be replaced with a brand new body, so that it can last forever. You don't go from one body to another body. You got a brand new body. Once you die and raised up, you got a brand new body. All right, but it's the same you. But you can't come back. It's not like you when you die, your spirit goes into another body. Again, that is something that's not written about in the Bible, reincarnation. So we don't go there. You have to ask the right question. Lion Pride. You have to ask the right question the right way. Chat GPT goes through all records available. The Esau can learn more and make it available. Okay. It's hard for me to understand this. Welcome to my world. Shabbat Shalom to Mika Woody, Shabbat Shalom Esher Asherala, Shabbat Shalom Mickey Anderson. Thanks, praise God. Elder, what about the Olmec people of Mexico and the Native American, they black people? What are they at now? What are they now? Olmec people don't mean that they were black people. They might look like black people, but they're stone head sculptures, aren't they? What are they now? They was in South America, wasn't it? So are you telling me that you were in South America and you beat them stone heads and you couldn't write nothing down to show that you were here?
I've been to North Carolina to see the pyramids.
You did what?
I've been to North Carolina to see the pyramids.
They got pyramids in North Carolina.
Mississippi, Tennessee.
Well, what were they for? What were they for? What were they for?
I don't know what they were for.
I mean, you say they're pyramid. I have never seen any evidence of pyramids nowhere in America. But you say you've seen them. Well,
I've been to
well, good. Go ahead. But bring one to me.
You got
I can't bring it, but I can.
Well, I mean, what do I need with a pyramid?
You don't need anything.
I don't. So that means I don't need to go to a pyramid, don't it?
No, you don't have
So
to.
I'm not going there. If you want to believe that we built these pyramids, if you believe that we built the pyramids here, then it's not written in the Bible nowhere that we built pyramids.
no.
That
I didn't say we were.
Okay.
well, we did not build pyramids. If they were built, they were built from somebody else because we were being slaves to these white people.
We're talking slaves and first slaves, and they built all of them pyramids. Who were building?
Who were building them?
Yeah.
But they were already built. They were already built before we even got there. The pyramids in Egypt,
Yeah.
they were built thousands of years before we got there.
That's right.
All right, so we did not written in here that we built pyramids. But you got some folks that say we did.
But it tells you what we built.
Yeah,
Treasure seeds for Ramesses.
right.
Tell 'em Ramesses.
The treasure seeds of Python and Ramesses.
Ramesses,
It
right.
did not say that we built the pyramid. I'm pretty sure they would have said something about that.
They would. And the thing of it is, you got the whole Bible, right? All those books. Pyramids not mentioned one time.
Not one time.
Not one time.
So people want to say, well, you built the pyramids. So damn what? You're
Yes.
still slaves. I mean, you've got all these building wonders that you claim that you built, but you're still a slave. What is your name on those pyramids? Did you write your name on the pyramid and say, we built this? The Hebrew Israelites built this pyramid. Is that name on that pyramid anyway? Did you see the names on the pyramids here in America? See what I'm saying? So how do you know that we did that? That's my point. All right. Let's continue. The Olmec people are not our people. Who wants to know? And the Native Americans, they black people. How you know? Because all you got is black and white pictures of the original Americans, Native Americans. And of course, they're darker skinned because they call the white man pale face. But what the white man called him? Red skin. The red man. He didn't say black man, he said red man. So if the Indians were black, how come they didn't say they were black? And then how did they write treaties and lie to a black man over his land? The Indians had this land first. So how did if Indians were black people, how did they lose their own land? Yeah, man.
Like the Indians overseas, they don't have like wool. We got like wool.
Well, she a mingle seed.
I don't see you see, but they have straight hair.
Yeah.
If you have hair like wool, you're not an Indian.
Right.
You can't be an Indian.
I know.
You're not going to let a man be Indian.
I know.
All people that come from the my wife, she got like her.
Right.
She got that little Indian. She could make that the Indian type.
Yeah, well, that shows
got
that
like wool.
she's part of mingle seed. That's
That's
all.
what
So her children that she had, did they have hair like wool when she had them? Did they have that good hair?
Like I say, that they don't. I got like wool. You're not an Indian.
Yeah,
I don't know why y'all confuse yourself.
I
They
know.
don't have afro. These people that you still think you don't have afro.
Right.
They got the short hair.
Yeah, I know.
You got afro, you don't have afro, you're not Indian.
I know. I know. Now, who wants to know they got, and they said Olmec people of Mexico. We were in Mexico. They brought about 600 slaves, just men, to Mexico, and they wouldn't call them Negritos, right? But they were never called Olmec. And again, the Native Americans, they are black people. How come they didn't have afros back in them days? No. How come they didn't have big, thick lips and wide noses? You seen an Indian with big lips and wide nose? Well, that wasn't no Indian then. That wasn't no Indian. That wasn't no Indian. Indians don't have afros. All right, that wasn't no Indian looking at you. They call those pyramids Indian mounds. So you never said that those Indian pyramids were mounds. They were mounds. In some cases, they're burial mounds. See, the picture pyramid is the Egyptian pyramid, and the Aztec pyramids. They're made of building blocks, but not of mounds. You can't call that a pyramid. You're trying to confuse people in the argument. That's all. Yeah. See, I was taught that the early American people were of the 10 tribes and called copper color people. Who told you that? No, you're not. No. We didn't come here as tribes. The 10 tribes are not here. You cannot gather the 10 tribes for the court. You can't. That's something IUIC pick out say, because they named everybody over here as part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah. So that's IUIC doctrine. Who wants to know when we don't follow their doctrine? Because you can't say everybody over here in America is part of the 12 tribes of Israel.
No.
If the Indians are part of the 12 tribes of Israel, well, why did they enslave us? And they passed laws against a slave marrying an Indian. If those are our brothers, then why did they enslave us? Why didn't they say Shalom? Let me get to that. Shabbat Shalom. Call me back in about an hour. Call me back in an hour. Yeah. All right. Bye.
What it say, the children of Israel are going to buy many days without a king, without a prince, ephod. Well, those Indians, they know who they are. They know their history.
I know.
You can't put them people.
Well, again, I don't know who Dane. Y'all know who Dane Calloway is?
Yeah, he's a podcast. Yeah. He said different teachers.
Look, there's something special about him that we supposed to believe him.
He just got a big podcast. That's all.
Well, that's who wants to know. That said that teaching that all. Well, yeah, but again, IUIC pick up that doctrine also. Chauvin, do you think Yahweh wrath on the Americans have anything to do with, in addition to what they did to our people, to all the pyramids that greatly outnumber the pyramids in Egypt? What are these pyramids?
I don't know why people are obsessed with some darn pyramids.
Where? The Grand Canyon? Well, they don't put nothing out about that. I don't see how white folks used to tell everything. What now? So it's not like the regular pyramid we used to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's the issue. So we're used to seeing Egyptian pyramids and Aztec pyramids with solid structure, built with stones. But so now you're telling me that the pyramids are not built like that. Well, damn. How the hell are we supposed to say that that's a pyramid when we're used to seeing the Egyptian pyramid? Oh man. You know what? Hey. It's still my class. All right. I don't need you carrying on a conversation without me being involved in it. Now it's after 2:00. It's time for me to shut this thing down. I'm sorry I can't get to everybody, but they keep adding on here. Let me see what I got here. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Naraj, Shabbat Shalom, Kimberly Israel, Shabbat Shalom, Brother Hanok. Okay, you got that. Mickey Anderson, we got that. Okay, that's everybody.
Ask your bishop, can she come up with a function for my group? Some kind of shit.
Yeah, I've read this. This on this in here.
Where do you want?
Yeah.
Let's say,
Okay. Yeah, got everything. We got the same thing here. Well, let me get out of this. All right. Uh, Facebook, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. I did not know we had gone so long, but y'all owe me overtime. All right. So we are in the midst of. Hey, we still have class here. All right. All right. Listen, we are in the midst of the Feast of Tabernacles. We celebrate the Tabernacles all week long, and so we're gonna be. Are we gonna do something today? We are. Or something tonight. Okay. 6 to 8. Is that when the children come out? Okay. All right. I gotta be ready.